Welcome to Innerji, Tarot, Astrology, and all things metaphysical. Hi, I'm Lesley, the Metaphysical Crone, and I'm going to be doing a pick a card reading for the week commencing Monday, which is going to be, let me check my diary, the 14th of June. So you can choose from 3 different readings. So let me bring up my screen and just quickly show you what your choices are. So this week you can choose from a tarot and charms reading, or from my new system, Crystal Fusions Divination Reading, or you can choose an Astrology Divination Reading. Now with the Astrology reading, I'm not actually looking at where the planets are in the sky at the moment or what they mean from that perspective, but instead I'm going to be using some astrology cards for the purposes of divination and interpretation. So choose where you're drawn. Remember, all readings are general, so only take what resonates for you and disregard the rest. So let's begin with the Tarot and Charms reading. So just shuffling the cards to see what your message is for this week, beginning Monday the 14th of June. Or if you happen to come across this video later, a few weeks later or later in the year, remember, if you've chosen it, it means that it can apply for you in the moment of your choice to view it. So have we got, yes, the cards are in order. So I'm going to do 3 cards. And let's see what they have to say. So we have the 8 of Wands. We have the 2 of Cups reversed. And we have the 5 of Pentacles reversed. I'm going to add a couple of charms to each of those. We've got the snail and the tent on the 8 of Wands. We have the balloon and the sword on the 2 of Cups, which is reversed. And then we've got the cup and we've got the bells on the 5 of Pentacles reversed. So let's see what these mean. So 8 of Wands. Look, you're going to be starting the week with everything in alignment. You know, all of these wands have been thrown at the same time. They're all traveling in the same direction. So the start of the week is going to be good for you to do things with others, but you might need to slow it down because we've got the snail and we've also got the tent. So this is going to be something that is going to be done more quietly. It's not going to be like a big public splurge. But others that are close to you or within your work environment or with friends, they're going to be all in alignment with you this week and all heading in the same direction, at least as the week begins. It is going to be some time at the beginning of the week just to do it quietly. We're going to be in the tent, so to speak. And with the snail, it is about not rushing in. It is about taking things slowly. And that makes a lot of sense because we still have Mercury retrograde at the moment. And Mercury, in regard to communication, thoughts and ideas, is about just slowing things down, because when we rush in, that's when Mercury retrograde can do its worst work. So just be careful about communication, but know that people are all in alignment with you. You're all heading in the same direction. You just need to take it a little bit more slowly, a little bit more quietly, just to avoid any of those possible Mercury retrograde misunderstandings. Now, as we move towards the middle of the week, we've got 2 of Cups reversed, and we also have the sword and we have the balloon. So what this is saying to me is that as you get to the middle of the week, there's going to be someone that you're going to take a break from. It doesn't mean that you're going to break up a love affair or a romantic entanglement. And it also doesn't mean that you're going to sort of, walk away from someone, whether it be friend or family. But what it means is you're just going to take a little bit of time out for yourself. We've got the sword here, and that's sort of cutting between the two cups. And so that's saying to me that, by the time you get to the middle of the week, you're going to want a little bit of solitude, a little bit of time out for yourself. And with the balloon there as well, that's going to help you just release any tension, any stress that's built up. So I think by the time you get to the middle of the week, it is about looking after you, putting yourself first and not necessarily putting others first. And I have to say, there's nothing selfish or self-centered about that, because it is important to look after you. Then as we get towards the end of the week, we've got 5 of Pentacles reversed. Now, this is a pretty miserable looking card, but the fact that it's upside down is saying to me that things at the end of the week aren't going to be quite as bad as you think they're going to be. We have the bells here. Now, the bells mean a large announcement, and we've got the cup. So I feel that there's going to be a large announcement made by someone that's close to you around an emotional issue, and that is going to have a very physical effect. So, the week is starting out in alignment. Time out for yourself in the middle of the week, because towards the end of the week, there is going to be someone close to you who's going to make a bit of an announcement. It could be around finances that aren't in the best shape at the moment, or it could be around some other sort of physical matter. It could be health. It could be anything that's sort of more material or in the body related. So starting off well, so just be careful towards the end of the week. And so we can finish this week off on a positive note, I'm also going to draw an oracle card for you just to see what this general energy theme is. It would be wonderful if we could have everything totally positive every week of our lives, but that's not how we grow and learn. It's how we face the challenges when cards like the 5 of Pentacles come into being in a spread. And so the overall message we have is surrender. There it is there. So it is about surrendering towards the end of the week, not trying to force anything, make things happen, and just take it easy about how you respond to this announcement. Don't rush in, just listen to what the other person says, because remember, Mercury retrograde, you could mishear. I would suggest whatever this announcement is that you use some reflective listening. In other words, you state back to the person what you've heard to make sure that you understand what they're saying. I do hope that's of help. Now let's move on to the second reading, which is the Crystal Fusions Divination and Healing Reading. Here we have my crystal kit that I am going to be casting for our reading. I also have my clear quartz sphere. When you're reading tarot, sometimes you can use a card as a significator. And what that means is that the card is representing a person that you're reading for or a type of situation. So with crystal divination, the way I've developed it, I use a clear quartz sphere for a general reading when I'm not reading for a specific person or on a specific topic. So we'll place that in the center of the casting mat, and I will gather up the crystals, give them a bit of a shake around, cast them, and see what we've got. So we're asking, what is it that we need to know about for the week commencing Monday the 14th of June? So I only read the crystals that sit inside the circle. And let's have a look at what we have. So I'll just move the others out of the way. Okay, so I'll just tell you what the crystals are. I'll turn that one over so you can see it a little bit better. That's a titanium quartz. There we go. So in our crystal reading for today, we have citrine, we have petrified wood, dragonstone, aventurine, and titanium quartz. Now, the closer that the crystals are to the center means the more immediate or more important that the messages of those crystals have for you. So for this coming week, we've got dragonstone. Dragonstone is about really, revving up the fire. You think about dragons, they're strong creatures, they have power, and they have the power of the energy of fire. So this is about you getting your energy up this week, getting your own fire going, stoking that fire, and knowing that you are a powerful soul, that you can make your own decisions, that you can do your own things. You don't have to rely on others. Now, dragonstone is sitting in the quadrant of the element of water. And so I feel that your power this week is going to come from getting your emotions under control. And with Mercury retrograde, with things possibly going awry in terms of communication with others, it really is important that you keep your emotions steady and strong. So we've got the energy of fire with the dragonstone in the house or the place of the energy of water. So it is about finding the balance. It is about still being strong, still using your energy in a positive way, but going with the flow and not allowing your emotions to take over. Really, really important for you this week. Now, if we have a look at the next stone that's closest to the spear, we have petrified wood. So this is about looking to the past. And with petrified wood, I always think of it more as distant past rather than recent past. If you want to think of petrified wood as being looking back to earlier generations, our ancestors, or even very early childhood. Petrified wood obviously is a fossilized form of a tree that takes so long, takes about hundreds of thousands of years to become petrified into a crystal stone. So what this is saying to me is that it is a time to review. And Mercury retrograde is a time to review things. It's not just about what goes wrong with technology or what you post on social media. It is also about reviewing the past, reviewing past conversations, reviewing past ideas, past ways of thinking. And so I feel that for you this week, having a look at some things from the past that might be coming to the surface again that haven't been 100% resolved. And it is in the quadrant of Earth. So this is saying that it is around some physical things in your life. It could be around your home. It could be around your well-being. But it is about going to the past and healing what has not yet been resolved. We also have Aventurine. Now, Aventurine is a little bit further away. And what I'm getting from this is that if you start looking at some things that have happened in the past, even doing a little bit of your own shadow work to really bring some healing through, because Aventurine isn't just about abundance, it's also a stone of healing, and it's also a stone that can represent the heart chakra. So I feel some very, very, how can I put it, very in-body healing. It's not just about healing your body, but really being on this material earthly plane to really consciously heal something from the past that hasn't been quite resolved yet. Now, the good news is we've got titanium quartz here. This is a beautiful point. And the titanium quartz, yes, is a clear quartz, and it has been treated with titanium at extremely high temperatures. But titanium quartz for me is about bringing in the joy, bringing in the happiness, all the colors of the rainbow, if you like. And so the fact that we've got this titanium quartz along with the aventurine and along with the petrified wood is saying that, if you take the time to do this work, go back to the past, see what's surfacing that you need to address, that you need to heal, it is going to lighten the load for you. And you are going to feel much lighter and much happier. Now, the final crystal that we have in the Crystal Fusions layout today is citrine. Now, citrine is a little bit further away, and it's also in the quadrant of fire. So citrine is about abundance in all of its forms. Citrine is also about confidence and courage, and it's a joyful crystal. It's also about, self-esteem, self-image as well. And so I feel that the work that you start doing now will lead to you building your own confidence, building your own courage, and building your own self-esteem. And the fact that it's sitting so close to the word yes is telling me that yes, if you do this work, this will be the end result. This will be the end result. You'll feel more joyful, you'll feel more confident, you'll have the courage to be in that dragon stone energy that is part of you, that is close to you. I do hope that's been of help. And now let's move on to the astrology divination. For the astrology divination, I have my 3 piles. I have one pile that represents the houses in astrology. In other words, these are the areas of life that we'll be looking at. The next pile is the 12 signs of astrology. And the next pile are the 7 traditional planets of astrology. So I'm going to shuffle each pile, choose a card from each one, and then interpret them. So let's choose an area of life that this reading is going to be about. And the area of life is the 3rd house, the house of communication, thoughts, ideas. It's also the house of siblings. It's also the house of how quickly we think as well. So aptly named, I think. And we're going to choose a sign that will sit in that house. And we have the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the deep thinker, the explorer, not just physically going out on adventures, but also mentally and philosophically. And then we're going to choose a planet that sits in the sign and the house so that they all link up. And we have the planet Jupiter. So what does all of this mean? So this reading is in the area, and it's kind of appropriate. Again, I know I'm focusing a lot on Mercury retrograde, but we also have the Sun in Mercury at the moment. Sorry, let me restate that. We have the Sun in Gemini. We have Mercury in Gemini at the moment as well. And so Mercury rules Gemini. In other words, Gemini is its home. And the third house is the home of Gemini, the natural home of Gemini, and the natural home of Mercury. So again, we have lots of energy around thinking about projects, coming up with ideas, communication with people, and also relationships with our siblings, really highlighted at the moment. So within this area of life, we have Sagittarius sitting here as part of our divination. So Sagittarius is a mutable fire sign. So this is a highly active and highly adaptable sign. So for you for this coming week, it is about being adaptable in how you think. It is about being able to think quickly and move quickly and correspond quickly. Really important to explore also. I feel that this is a week where you are going to be exploring new ideas. And we also have Jupiter here. Now, Jupiter is the planet that rules Sagittarius. And Jupiter is all about expansion, generosity. It's known as the Great Benefic, which means it's a planet known for its good fortune. So what I see for this coming week in the area of how you think, how you communicate, and it's all forms of communication, you know, writing, speaking, but also don't forget about listening. You know, when we get into the whole Gemini thing, it's all about talking, but it is about learning to listen as well and finding that balance. After all, it is the house and the sign of the twins. So communication is going to be really important. It's going to be expansive. I feel that you're going to be exploring lots of new ideas, wanting to bring in lots of new things. Now we've just passed the new moon, so now the moon is waxing. So it is a time to start bringing in new things, to start moving into new projects. But just make sure you think it through first. Think before you act is really important. But that doesn't mean that you can't explore all of the possibilities and look at from the positive perspective. Look at the good fortune in it. Look at the expansiveness and the generosity in it. So all in all for you, I think this is going to be a really good week around your mental processes. Now, if we look at this from the perspective of siblings, if you have siblings or if you have friends whom you consider to be like a brother or a sister, this is going to be a great week for communication with them. This is a great week for going out and exploring with them and doing things with them. I see this as a week where you might try some new things with a sibling or with a friend that you haven't done before. You know, if you've never done indoor rock climbing, for example, that might be something that you might try, because it is about having a little bit of adventure. So all in all, this looks like a very exciting, exploring and adventurous week. I hope you've enjoyed this week's Pick a Card reading, including tarot, charms, crystal fusions, and astrology. Until next time, I hope your week is blessed.